Hello, oi, la 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 la. Whoa, you're going to Hawaii, take me with you. A lot of my students are going on vacation right now without me. So a student got me a dashboard hula doll with a shark. Hoorah! So make sure you take with me on vacation with you. Math tutoring on vacation, let's go. Or at least take my recordings with you, right? YouTube, let's go. Okay, so we're looking at 4.3. So we got some good Unit 1 review here, getting ready for the ACTs coming up in March. Still not for a while, but it's good to keep reviewing. Remember, this is called a composition. So we take F and we plug it into G. Do you remember that? Oh, you should be pausing me. Pause me before I say anything else. You got to know these things without my help, and then watch the video if you didn't quite get it, right? Or if you get stuck. If you're just like looking at it, stare at it for at least a minute before you unpause me, right? Try it on your own. Get your brain ready to learn by trying on your own. So you're going to take f of x, which is 5x plus 3, and you're going to plug it into G. So we get 3 all squared, which is 3x squared. But then you're plugging in the fx, 5x plus 3. And there's 2 of them, because that's what squared means, right? There's 2 of them. That's what squared means. So you got to multiply it twice. Way-o. So go ahead and seashell that guy, and then multiply the 3 through at the very end. Good. Number 2, I think, is on Canvas. Give that one a try. So g of negative 2 means we take negative 2 and we plug it in for g. So 3, negative 2, all squared, which is a positive 4. And 3 times 4 is 12. Nice. So then we take 12 and we go ahead and plug that into f now. Remember, it's input, output becomes the input for the next function, final output. Don't forget how to do that. So there we go. Let's double check and make sure we did that right. Yep. So then f is 5x plus 3, but you're going to plug a 12 in there now. So 5 times 12 is 60. Plus 3 is 63. Way-o. Don't forget how to factor. Do you remember how to factor? Yeah, do you remember how to factor? What are factors of 5? So 5x and x, 1x. What about number 5? So probably pull out a GCF if you can. Make it easier on yourself, right? So go ahead and pull out a 2. So we're left with x squared minus 7x minus 15. And then, pause me. Do you know how to do the rest? Pause me. Try it on your own. So x squared factors into x and x, and factors of 15 are 3 times 5. 3 times 5, that's not going to equal 7. Ugh. Ugh, what is going on? That doesn't seem right. What did I forget? I feel like I forgot something. What did I forget? Oh, what's 4 divided by 2? 4 divided by 2 is 2. What the? I forgot the 2. Forgot the 2. So that factors into 2 as well as 1. And the next squared factors in x and x. Yeah, that looks like it's going to work, huh? And if we have the sign in the middle term goes with a negative 5 and a positive 3, then that's going to help us. Because that'll be negative 5 and 2 is negative 10x. 3 times 1 is a positive 3x. And if you add those together, you get negative 7x. Way-o. So don't forget the 2. That's one of our answers. Don't forget the 2. Good. Remember, factor by grouping. Pull out the GCF. And sometimes the GCF is a negative. Sometimes it's a negative. Sometimes it's a negative. Way-o. Factor by grouping. Keep on going. Factor by a grouping. Okay, long division. Long division or synthetic division, right? Or synthetic division. So I personally like synthetic division. But let's do one more long division to make sure you know how to do it. So what about number 7? Could you do long division? Do you remember how to do long division, right? So I'm going to show you both. So we go x minus 2 into x cubed plus 2x squared minus 9x plus 2. Good. And so x times what? X times what is x to the third power? X times what is x to the third power? Well, x times x is x squared. No. Yeah. Oh, x times x squared is x to the third power. And negative 2 times x squared is a negative 2x squared. Wee-oh. But then you have to change those signs. So that becomes a negative, that becomes a positive. So that cancels out, and that becomes a 4x squared. Bring down the negative 9x. Nice. So then how does x become a 4x squared? Well, x times 4 gives it a 4x. But if we do x times x, that's x squared. Right? X times 4x is 4x squared, which is what we wanted. So that's 4x squared. Good. So then we also have to multiply the negative 2 through. So negative 2 times 4x is a negative 8x. Change the sign. Halloween story. Remember, it's just a story. It's not true. So then that becomes a 0. And then negative 9x with the positive 8x is negative 1x. And then we bring down the 2. Okay, so then how does x become a negative 1x? Well, if we times it by a negative 1, x times negative 1 is negative 1x. And negative 2 times negative 1 is a positive 2. And then we change the signs. So we change the sign and we change the sign. And those cancel out. Remainder 0. So let's see. Use long division to determine each quotient and remainder if applicable. So we get a remainder of 0. So our answer is x squared plus 4x minus 1 with a remainder of 0. Way-o. So just put a remainder of 0. Number 8 is even, so I'm going to let you try that on your own. But I'm going to show you something cool if you weren't in class, and that's synthetic division. Shortcut. It's a shortcut to long division. So I'm going to take the same exact problem. Whoops, don't cancel it out. But I'm going to go ahead and do the same exact problem, which is number 7, but I'm going to use synthetic division this time. So you take your x minus 2 for synthetic division. So use the opposite sign. So now I got a negative 2, right? Not a negative 2, but a positive 2. You draw an upside down house. You only grab the numbers, leave the letters there. You ready for this craziness? Here we go. So we're going to grab the invisible. Ready for this? We're going to grab the invisible 1. Right? That's not a good color, Nooble. Okay, let's do green. We're going to grab the invisible 1 in front of the x cubed. That goes here. We're going to grab the 2 and the negative 9 and the other 2. Make sure they're in all order. 3, 2, 1, 0. Yeah, you might need placeholders. Okay, so 1, 2, negative 9, 2. So I grabbed it from here, invisible 1, 2, negative 9, and 2. Okay, here's synthetic division. Watch how easy this is. So you take the first number and you bring it down, and then you multiply. 2 times 1 is 2. And then we add them together, and 2 and 2 is 4. And then 2 times 4, well, 2 times 4 is 8. And so we go ahead and write the 8 right there. And then negative 9 and 8, just add them together. Negative 9 and 8 is negative 1. And then positive 2 times negative 1 is negative 2. We got a remainder of 0, which is no remainder. Way-o. So then, well, how do we get our answer then? How do we get our answer? So do we go 1 power more or 1 power less? So we go 1 power less than the original, okay? So we start, this is for synthetic division, we start our answer 1 power less. So instead of the third power, we're going to use a 2. We're going to use a 2. So we go over here to our answer, which is 1, 4, 1, 4, negative 1, 1, 4, negative 1 with remainder of 0. And we do 1 power less. So we take the 1 and we put an x, and then instead of a 3, we go down to 2. And then we take our plus 4x, so that also has an x there to the first power, and then a minus 1. Way-o. So then our final answer there is x squared plus 4x minus 1. What? That is the same? That is the same? That is the same as we got up here. Way-o. Same answer. One's long division and one is synthetic division. Way-o. So that's how we do synthetic division. And so let's try our next one. Okay, so number 9. Let's do synthetic division this time. Way-o. So we have x plus 4. And so we set that equal to 0, and we minus 4 to the other side. So we're not using a negative 4, we're not using a positive 4, we're using a negative 4. We do an upside down house. Upside down house. Yeah, can I name drop you? What? Ioana, do you remember years ago when I taught you synthetic division, upside down house? Yep. Way, members! Okay, so we got to go in order from least to greatest. We have a 3, 2, 1. Okay, you have to make sure there's no placeholders. If we were missing an x to the first power, you'd have to put a 0 in there to be a placeholder for x to the first power. But we've got them all there. So now you just bring down each number. Bring down the 2, bring down the 7, bring down the negative 10, and bring down the negative 24. Way-o. So then how do we do synthetic division? Well, you always just bring down the first number. That's the first part of your answer. And then you multiply. Multiply, combine it. Multiply, combine it. Multiply, combine it. So negative 4 times 2 is a negative 8. And then we combine it. Negative 8 and 7 is a negative 1. Then negative 4 times negative 1 is a positive 4. And then we combine it. What's negative 10 and a positive 4? That's negative 6. And then last but not least, negative 4 times negative 6 is a positive 24. And we combine those and we get a remainder of 0. So remainder of 0 means yes. Thanks, guys. Yes, it is a factor. Yes, it is a factor because it divides evenly into it. There's no remainder. Well, how do we get our answer now? Because we got to get our answer. So our answer is 1 power less than what we started with. So we originally have a third power, so what's less than 3? Right? What's less than 3? A 2. So this 2, we bring it down, and the negative 1, and the negative 6, and we shove an x in there. Have an x. You have an x too. And then we do 1 power less. So 1 power less means we're going to do the squared, and then a first power, and the next to the 0 power, which anything to the 0 power is just a 1 and goes away. And so our final answer is 2x squared minus x minus 6. Way-o! With the remainder of 0. And yes, it is a factor. Yes, it is a factor. Nice. Make sense? Try the next one on your own. Try number 8. Try number 10. You got this. So do another video. Keep on trying your best without me. Try without me. You got to learn without me. Got to take out those training wheels to ace the test and to get good at this. Don't watch the next video yet. Try the next on your own. Then watch the video, see how you did, and learn from your mistakes. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.